Did you know that there may be as many as 10,000 shipwrecks in North America alone? Shipwrecks are not only fascinating relics of the past, but also valuable sources of information about the cultures, technologies, and trade routes of ancient and modern civilizations. In this episode of Amazing History, we are going to explore the top 10 oldest shipwrecks in the world, based on the available archaeological and historical evidence. Let's dive in and discover the secrets of these sunken vessels. Number 10. MS Estonia. The MS Estonia was a Swedish-Estonian cruise ferry that sank on September 28, 1994 in the Baltic Sea en route from Tallinn to Stockholm. The sinking was triggered by a storm that damaged the bow door of the ship, allowing water to flood the car deck and destabilize the vessel. The MS Estonia sank in less than an hour, claiming the lives of 852 people out of 989 on board. Number 9. Empress of Ireland. The Empress of Ireland was a Canadian ocean liner that sank on May 29, 1914, in the St. Lawrence River near Rimouski, Quebec. The sinking occurred after a collision with a Norwegian collier in thick fog. The ship sank in only 14 minutes, with the loss of 1,012 lives out of 1,477 on board. It is the worst maritime disaster in Canadian history, and one of the worst in the world. Number 8. Titanic. The Titanic was a British passenger liner that sank on April 15, 1912, in the North Atlantic Ocean, after colliding with an iceberg during its maiden voyage from Southampton to New York City. The sinking of the Titanic is one of the most famous and tragic maritime disasters in history, as it claimed the lives of more than 1,500 people out of 2,224 on board. The Titanic was the largest and most luxurious ship of its time. Number 7. Vasa. The Vasa was a Swedish warship that sank on its maiden voyage on August 10, 1628, in Stockholm Harbor. The sinking was caused by a design flaw that made the ship top-heavy and unstable. The Vasa was a state-of-the-art vessel, built to be the flagship of the Swedish Navy and a symbol of the power and prestige of King Gustavus Adolphus. Number 6. Mary Rose. The Mary Rose was an English warship that sank on July 19, 1545, during the Battle of the Solent against the French fleet. The exact cause of the sinking is still debated, but it is likely that a combination of factors such as wind, tide, human error, and enemy fire contributed to the disaster. The Mary Rose sank with the loss of most of her crew of 400, while King Henry VII watched from the shore. Number 5. Nemi ships. The Nemi ships were two large Roman ships that were built by Emperor Caligula in the 1st century AD. The ships were used as floating palaces on Lake Nemi, south of Rome, where they hosted lavish parties and ceremonies. The ships were scuttled by the emperor's enemies after his assassination in 41 AD and remained submerged for centuries. The ships were rediscovered in the 15th century, and several attempts were made to salvage them. Number 4. Antikythera wreck. The Antikythera wreck is a Greek cargo ship that sank in the 2nd century BC near the island of Antikythera in the Aegean Sea. The ship was carrying a rich cargo of art, jewelry, pottery, and bronze and marble statues destined for Rome. The most famous item recovered from the ship is the Antikythera mechanism, a complex device that is considered to be the world's first analog computer, used to calculate astronomical and calendar events. Number 3. Kyrenia ship. The Kyrenia ship is a Greek merchant ship that sank in the 4th century BC, near the coast of Cyprus. The ship was carrying a cargo of wine, almonds, olive oil, and millstones, as well as personal items of the crew and passengers. The ship was about 15 meters long and had a single mast and sail. The ship was well built and well preserved, and is one of the oldest and best examples of ancient shipbuilding. Number 2. Uluburun shipwreck. The Uluburun shipwreck is a Bronze Age ship that sank in the 14th century BC off the coast of Turkey near the town of Kos. The ship was carrying a diverse and valuable cargo of raw materials and finished goods, such as copper and tin ingots, glass beads, ivory, gold and silver jewelry, weapons, tools, and pottery. The ship was probably a trading vessel that sailed between the Eastern Mediterranean. Number 1. Dokos Shipwreck. The Dokos Shipwreck is the oldest known shipwreck in the world, dating back to the early Bronze Age, between 2200 BC and 2700 BC. The ship was found off the Greek island of Dokos, in the Aegean Sea, by a marine archaeologist in 1975. The ship was carrying a large cargo of pottery, mostly storage jars, that were probably used to transport wine, oil, or grains. The ship was about 15 meters long and had a single mast and sail. That's it for today's episode of Amazing History. I hope you enjoyed learning about the top 10 oldest shipwrecks in the world and their stories and secrets. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more amazing history videos.